Good morning, Knicks Nation. Today is Wednesday. It is the 27th day of October, 2021. I hope you're COVID-free today and healthy. I hope you and your family, in terms of your needs of food and shelter and clothing, as well as health, are being met today. Blessings upon those that work in the healthcare field, trying to save lives. Blessings also upon those that pick up garbage for us, keep our places clean. Blessings upon those that make deliveries for us, all types of deliveries for our convenience. Just like when you walk in the grocery store and you see it packed with food. Somebody delivered it. Sometimes hazarded their lives to get it there. Blessings upon them. Double blessings on those trying to deliver, trying to help, trying to recover, trying to rescue. Boys and girls, toddlers, teenagers, adults from human trafficking. From sex slavery, from prostitution and child prostitution, from pornography and child pornography, and child molestation and pedophilia. Blessings upon those people that are trying to help rescue, deliver ones from these things. Including those that are trying to overcome addiction to pornography. I think it's an addiction. And so it also destroys the human mind, destroys the body, destroys what real lovemaking is, degrades men and women, and curses upon those that support and push these industries that destroy people. Double curses on them. Finally. Blessings on the homeless. 600,000 human beings representing families, representing boys and girls, and men and women, and children, and veterans on the streets of the United States of America. And millions more human beings, millions around the world, in worse conditions. Blessings upon them, for theirs is the kingdom, and upon those who, even in a small way, are trying to help. There was a basketball game last night. Our New York Knicks played in Madison Square Garden against the Philadelphia 76ers. Now, the Philadelphia 76ers are missing a major piece of their team in Ben Simmons. And apparently he's eventually going to come back. They don't trade him, but apparently at this point it looks like he's going to come back. And I want the Knicks to play them when they're at full strength because I still believe we're better than them. Better than Philly, even at Philly full strength. Last year, the Knicks played Philly early in the season, and were spanked badly. They beat us badly that time. Ben Simmons locked up RJ Barrett. And then we came back and lost to him in overtime the next time we played him. It was two close game. And I think we lost to him 3 times last year. Matter of fact, we have lost to Philly before last night, 15 straight times. But last night was different. First, I want to give some kudos. I want to tell you something that's going to sound strange because people that look at stats like NBA 2K addicts going to not see what I'm about to tell you. But Julius Randle played his best game last night. And I want to give kudos to Julius Randle. You know why? Julius had 16 points. He had 11 boards, 7 assists, only 1 turnover. And he played stellar defense. And he was not forcing. See, Sunday he began to force. I told y'all. It's like being the oldest. He's the big dog. So you got to give him kudos when we win. You got to get on him a little bit when we lose. And he's a man. I love that about him. He's a grown man. He can take that. He done already proved that. And Sunday was forcing stuff. They got in his head. The young kids got in his head. And he threw everything out of rhythm trying to force his way and bull his way everywhere. But no, last night he was moving the basketball. Last night, he was setting solid screens. Last night, he was hitting the boards. Last night, he was playing tough defense. Now, he blew a couple of assignments, but, we're in the NBA. So last night, it was like that. But that was his best game. His best game. I said before the game yesterday, in yesterday's video, if you recall, we need Kemba to be aggressive. We need him to be a Kemba. We did not bring him here to score 10 points a game. We brought him here to be aggressive. See, I don't care if he goes 1 for 11 or, 2 for 18. But I want him taking 11 shots and 18 shots. And you know why? Because a guy of his caliber, if his knee holds up, more often than not, is going to be successful. And he's going to make your team successful by doing that. Last night, Kemba Walker put up 15 shots. He was 7 of 15. He was 5 of 11 from 3. He had 5 assists, 3 rebounds. He had 2 steals. He had 19 points. That was the catalyst right there. See, D Rose came off the bench and still gave us 13, but D Rose's 13 was huge, right? It was almost like he scored 26. They couldn't do nothing with him. Why? Because they had to deal with Kemba in the first unit. So now D Rose is playing against a legit second unit, and there's no second unit that could guard Derrick Rose, period. So he ended up paying 20 minutes. Kemba paid 28. And listen, if it takes that to get Kemba to shoot, let's do it. But that was the key yesterday. Julius came back from Sunday's game, and what was the improvement was the basketball IQ, understanding what they were coming at him with. Philly is a tougher defensive team than Orlando, okay? And so playing smarter basketball, moving the basketball, looking for the open man. And he was a great decoy oftentimes because they were paying so much attention to Julius. It left other people opportunities like Kemba. Kemba had to be more aggressive. Stop trying to defer. He started off the game, but it was causing me a little discernible consternation. He played 8 minutes in the first quarter, only took 3 shots. I'd like to see him take 5 shots every time he's out there. But he took 3, and he did have a couple of assists to open it up. Okay, great. But I want to see him shoot, and he started doing it. And you know what? That's the key right there. If we can get a 19 point per game, 18, 19, he was a high man last night. I think Kemba could average 19. His career average is 19. So, and that's really including years in the beginning where he wasn't averaging but 12 or 14 points. But last year in Boston, I think he averaged 19. And that's with Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum. Okay. So there's no reason that he can't give us between 18 and 20 points a game. And if he does, we're going to be rough. Okay, we're going to be rough. We're going to be rough on everybody. Like I said, a healthy Mitchell Robinson, which brings me to Mitch Rob. Mitch Rob played 29 minutes last night. He only scored 7 points, had 6 boards, had no blocks, a steal, and assist. But that don't tell you, if you watch the game, and if you know the game, that don't tell you the effect this man had on the game last night. He was altering shots. He was in defensive position all the time. On the offensive glass, they had to pay attention to him because he would catch it and flush it on you. Julius found him under the basket for a flush. I mean, he did a tremendous job. Joel Embiid, okay, all NBA MVP candidate, Joel Embiid, okay. Joel Embiid was 2 for 7 last night. He got his 14 points because he was 10 of 11 from the free throw line. And let me tell you, 2 or 3 of those were giveaways because Mitch ain't touch him. But it's because he got that respect, as a top tier, top 10 player in the NBA. Refs give him that respect. That's right. It's all good though, because he was 2 for 11, 0 for 2 from 3, because he had to deal with Mitchell Robinson last night. Okay, that's really what that was about. Now, I don't know how hurt his knee was, but if you show up on the floor, you are assuming that you could play, right? So he was there, and Mitchell was putting the lockdown on him. He got over because the refs were giving him free throw. Giving it to him, okay? Not like he earned them all the time. But so Mitch did a job on a guy averaging 23, 24 points a game. He scored 14. Okay. Tobias Harris from Strong Island. So he going to come to the Garden, always come to the Garden bringing his best, his Sunday best. You know what I'm saying? So he came and scored 23. Fine, whatever. I kind of expected that from him because, he's from Long Island. So he's going to come out and show out in the Garden. Danny Green's also from Long Island, but he's an old pro. He played the same regardless. He scored 12 points. But the Tyrese Maxey IQ battle was interesting, wasn't it? I think Tyrese Maxey's still looking for his ankles to get healed after they got broke because IQ broke his ankles on a 3. They were battling back and forth. It was cool to see. And then, of course, Seth Curry. Seth Curry scored 4. I expected more from him, and the Knicks did a good job. And that just goes to show, again, defensively, the Knicks held Philadelphia to 99 points. Okay. We scored 112. Okay. Both teams, I expect the Knicks to score somewhere around, I told y'all, 118, 119 a game. And I expect them to give up somewhere around 107. Last night they gave up 199 points. Okay, outscoring by 13. And that was garbage time points that Philly shouldn't have got, but whatever. During most of the game, we was up 20. All right, we was up 20, starting in the first half. And that's what I'm saying. They have a good team. He got Matisse Thybulle, Korkmans. They got some shooters over there. This guy Niang was Niang, whatever his name is. He was doing work. It didn't matter though. It didn't matter. Okay. So right now, I mean, it's early. It's early in the season, and they didn't have Ben Simmons. We're gonna play them again, and hopefully with Ben Simmons. And I want to see what it looks like, because I'm telling you, somebody in that top four from Milwaukee, Philly, Brooklyn, Milwaukee, Philly, Brooklyn. I mean, maybe Miami, Milwaukee, Philly, Brooklyn, Miami. Somebody giving up their top four spot. The Knicks can ready to take it. Somebody, I don't care who it is. If it's Philly, Brooklyn, I don't care who it is. Because right now, early in the season, right now, in the East, Chicago's the top dog. We're gonna talk more about that. And it's early. Brooklyn is 2-2, 2-2. They're starting off slow. Okay, Boston's 2-2, Philly's 2-2. Okay, so Milwaukee 3-1, Charlotte 3-1, we 3-1, Chicago 4-0. Okay, so yeah, we for real though. I'm telling you right now, it's early, but the Knicks are for real. And so to come back like that from a really disappointing loss on Sunday, that shows the character of this team. It shows the culture change that Tom Thibodeau brings with the whole management team. It shows the maturity of the players and their work ethic, especially Julius. I'm very impressed. Julius Randle came back. He didn't try to score 40 yesterday. He really was trying to play within the team concept and let the game come to him, and wasn't worried about how much he averaged or any of that. He was just wanting to win. I love that. And playing that defense, and a big, strong dude like Julius at like 6'8", 6'9", when he decides to get the boards, to go hard on the glass, he gonna get boards. Okay, and he did. And I mean, that's a tremendous attribute, tremendous. And again, then we were concerned with the small ball, the lineup of the small ball. But Tibbs did use small ball. Now, what happened Sunday is he had Taj Gibson, with the small ball lineup. It was Taj, Obi, Derrick Rose, I believe Alec Burks, and Quickly. Didn't work too well Sunday because, and I had to go back and look. I mean, it didn't look well Sunday, but I have to also remember that was Taj's first game of the season, and he's an old vet, but he needs time to acclimate. Well, they played the same crew last night in the second unit. I would have wanted to see Julius Randle instead of Taj, but I understand that they, saving Julius. Julius played 36 minutes yesterday, and Taj ended up playing 19 minutes. Obi only got 12. I still need more minutes for Obi. But that unit came in, and within 5 minutes, they went on a 14-4 run. It was a 10-point plus 10 right off. Just to explain to you, I didn't do this. Somebody pointed out yesterday. When I say plus 10 minus whatever, what it means is that's the amount that a certain group of players on our team outscore the other team or are outscored by the other team. So when you have a crew of Toppin, Gibson, Rose, Burks, and Quickly, okay, and that's on the floor. That's your second unit, and you run 14 and they score 4. That means that unit was plus 10. Okay, that means that unit plus 10. And what it means is the Philly unit that was out there was minus 10 because they got outscored by 10 points. That's what that means. So they went on a 14-4 run, turned the game around, and before the first unit came back, we was up 20. It was crazy. I know they went on an even longer run than that because I just noticed as soon as they came in, it was on. See, it was on. And so, yeah, it was like that. And I like, you had Toppin had 9 points. He was plus 5 for the game, but I want to see more. Obi was cleaning up stuff last night. There's no plays run for Obi necessarily. I think he had 1 3-point attempt, which he missed, but I want to see him get more involved in that second unit. But right now, he cleans up after other people. He runs the floor and he's playing defense. He was in space against Harris a couple of times last night. And Harris, that's a tough matchup for Obi in space. Obi, even coming out of Dayton, we knew he was going to have some problems defensively in space, right? And Harris is a guy, the type of guy that would give him trouble because he's smaller than Obi. He's nimble, Harris, nimble enough. And so he can put it on the floor or he can shoot. And last night, he did get Obi a little bit last night, but it's good. That's all. I like to see Obi in those situations because that all is good training for him. He's still learning the league. He's still learning the league. So Harris had 23 last night, but he was scoring on everybody. He was like I said, he was hyped. 23, 9 boards. He was hyped last night. So, he was coming from Long Island and playing in the Garden. So that's all good. But Obi played a really good overall game. I really wanted him to get a few more minutes though. So last night, Tibbs really pushed his starters. I mean, Julius 36 minutes, Mitch Robb 29 minutes, Kemba Walker 28 minutes, Evan Fournier, who also played a good game. Evan Fournier started off slow, but came on strong, after his first stint, that first 8-minute stint in the first quarter, he was there, but then he came on strong and finished strong. Fournier's an Madison Square Garden type of guy, man. And then, of course, RJ had 10 points. For y'all talking about he can't go right. You got to be paying. See, some people just repeat stuff because they want to sound like they know what they're talking about, even when they don't know what they're talking about. Friday against Orlando, RJ comes down. He crosses over from right to left. He puts the ball between his legs, spins back to his right, and finishes with his right hand. If he had no right hand, he could not do that. Okay, that's what he did Friday night against Orlando. Most of y'all wasn't even paying attention. That's what he did. Then last night, he comes down, fakes left, and Maxey, I think, was on him, and he tried to force him right. He went right, finished with his right hand strong, got fouled. I told y'all, ain't no problem with his right hand. Nobody could stop him going to his left. That's what I'm saying. Okay? I mean, I wish some of y'all would just really look at film, look at what they're doing instead of running your mouth based on what Stephen A. Smith or somebody says, because it's obvious the guy can play with both hands. Okay? Just that nobody could stop him going to his left. When he wants to get there, he gets there. Okay? Now, he scored 10 yesterday, but that's all we needed from him. He was 2 of 4 from 3. That's 50% from the 3-point line. 2 of 4. Okay? He wasn't forcing anything. That's the thing about RJ. He plays with a high IQ. He still is young. So he blows some defensive assignments, but he's young. He's only 21. He's learning. Okay, and that's what he was doing last night. He's 4 of 10 from the field, 2 of 4 from 3-point line. He's going to take less shots when you got Kemba taking 15, Evan Fournier taking 10, and Julius taking 18. Beautifully balanced. The way the ball was moving. Even though I was a little disappointed, overall, the Knicks had 24 assists last night. Not bad, but, we need to be up in that 27 to 30 range, something like that, because, that's when you'll see it, but that's going to come as the season progresses. You'll see more of that. That's the thing. We're still new here. So, as you get Kemba Walker, I want to establish Walker as an established offensive threat, so that we get him 18 to 20 a game. Teams have to game plan for him when that's going on. That's when you'll see the ball movement, start to go. Because Kemba's a very smart, high IQ player. And so you're going to see the ball movement at that point. Matter of fact, Kemba, Fournier, and Barrett are very high IQ basketball players. And Randle is learning that. And that's what I was excited about last night. He saw what happened Sunday. He comes back today and he played last night and he plays a high IQ game, getting everybody involved, not forcing anything, making the game easy for himself. And he was very efficient. 7 of 18, 2 of 5 from 3, 40% from 3, 7 of 18 from the field. And again, 11 boards, 4 on the offensive end. Him and Mitch have been a horse in the offensive boards for us. Really they have. And so, and then 7 assists and 11 boards. I mean, that was a good game. And Julius is a turnover machine when he wanted to be. He only had 1 turnover last night. So in 36 minutes, that was really good. And if you notice, he wasn't trying to play the point forward as much. He was handing the ball off to his point guards. He learned, man. I mean, I'm very excited about that. Okay, so if he continues to do that, and again, Mitchell Robinson, 29 minutes, played stellar defense on, arguably, right? If I wanted to see who are the top fives in the league, you're going to mention Joel Embiid, right? You're going to mention Joel Embiid. If you say, well, who are the top, centers, the top 5 centers in the league? Joel Embiid is going to probably be in your top 3. Mitchell worked him over last night. He could not push Mitchell around. That's what I'm saying to y'all. He couldn't do it. He couldn't. He tried. One time he tried to end up wrestling on the ground because Mitchell wasn't having it. Alec Burks, pro. I told y'all. Alec Burks is one of those guys. Solid pro. You're going to get from him what you expect every night. And the thing is about Alec Burks, like I'm telling y'all, tell y'all all year, because when it comes, don't say you didn't know. He's a playoff guy. Okay. He's one of them cats. He'll score 8 points tonight, but if there was playoffs, you might see him get 18, because he's a playoff type guy, so that's a guy you want on a playoff roster coming off your bench, Alec Burks. Of course, D Rose is D Rose. Unbelievable. Look, not only is D Rose playing like the 6th man of the year, which he is, I'm going to tell y'all, D Rose is playing all-star level basketball right now. If he continues to do this, he's got to be on the all-star team. I know we want Randle on the all-star team. I want Mitchell Robinson on an all-NBA defense, but D Rose is playing all-star level basketball. He really is, coming off the bench. Okay, he really is. One year, I think it was 2 years ago, I can't remember which, he was voted, I think he was voted in the all-star game coming off the bench. He's killing, man. D Rose is just killing, keeping himself in shape, and knows how to preserve his knees. That was a tremendous signing right there, getting D Rose back. Okay. Taj was Taj. I love our team, man. We really, last night, it wasn't just that it was Philly, it's just the character they showed coming back after that debacle on Sunday and really, coming back to our basics, defense, ball movement, rebounding, getting us going like that. And then the second unit, Tom, going back to that small ball unit. I don't know how many minutes he played them. I don't think he played them more than 10 minutes as a group yesterday. I see D Rose had 20 minutes. Burks had 17. Burks and Quickly are more indicative and Toppin. So Toppin had 12. Burks, so pretty much that's about what he played that second unit, about 12 minutes. And that's fine. To me, 12, 15 minutes, all you need from that crew. They dynamite, so okay, so put that in the books. That's a win right there. So now we got a tough one against Chicago. We're going to talk more about that tomorrow as we get ready to preview that game for tomorrow night. This is our biggest game of the season right here. Early season test for us because Chicago is playing ball. So we're going to talk about that tomorrow. But y'all, in the meantime, please have a good Wednesday out there. It's hump day, midweek. Be safe. Sure.